Welcome back to Spirit Journey. Just share spiritual knowledge from experience, and ends up being just kind of grounding in some morals is all. But all the recent events going on, I've been thinking about government corruption and all that crap. And I think everybody across the board pretty much knows that government does all kind of shit where they get theirs and the people get screwed. But that's kind of a reality that I think everybody's gotten used to, and they just call it normal, so they don't do anything about it. And it's not that they don't do anything about it, it's that nobody knows what the hell to do about it. Nobody knows what to do, what to say, who to go to. There's nowhere to go. There's nobody to fight. All you can do is turn your back on the crap that's going on. Yeah, and it goes on every level. Right now, federal is in big news. Yeah, you got one side trying to freak the rest of the people out because Elon Musk is going to have access to people's financial status. I mean, out of all the people on the planet, it seems like one of the richest dudes on the planet is probably going to give a shit the least about other people's financial status, other than like, wow, that's sad, but people still end up freaking out about it, just because it's Trump, just because it's Elon. But you want to be worried about people that's got your financial status? Worry about the freaking IRS themselves, the banks themselves. The ones that are in there, just going through all the shit, wanting to know everything about your life. It's ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, I brought that crap up because I've witnessed it myself working for local government. Myself and many members of my family have, or my relatives, however you want to look at it. Some people view family as like everybody you're related to. I like to be able to say family, those in your house, relatives, those outside your house that you're connected to. It just seems easier that way. But I found out that can be insulting for some people, so no insult intended, whatever. But anyway, local government, I mean, they're just as freaking crooked, just with smaller numbers. It's ridiculous. The hundreds of thousands of dollars that local governments dump, at the end of the fiscal year, just so they can justify the next budget, is ridiculous when you consider how many people are hurting, how many people are in need, how many people are going without. I spent 7 years working emergency medical dispatch at a 911 center. I cannot tell you how many people that I have dealt with in my local area, my county, that suffer so severely because of the way the system is organized and the hardships that it projects onto other people. It does not reward anybody that just wants to ground in raising their family, in doing the right thing by their family, in taking care of their land, their home, their family, the nest. They don't give any incentives for that. They don't really give any incentives for anything that you want to do for yourself or do to help other people in a way that does not just push and maximize profits. It's ridiculous. And the level of manipulation that goes on the local level is disgusting. I mean, it's like Hurricane Ivan decimated our area, and for weeks after the storm, my family was homeless. It destroyed the house that we were living in while we were in it. It's horrific. If you're in a house and the house is filling up with water and the walls are separating and you've got little children, you've got animals, it is terrifying. to think about what's going to happen if those walls come out and the ceiling collapses. I mean, where are you going to go? What you going to do? You know, those are some very real oh shit moments. But you know, afterwards, I spent several weeks in an area that was way worse than mine was, and yeah, I had about 15 debris removal crews down there. There was 3 of us that were working this area, and and the other 2 guys, they were with a different department than I was with, but we were all working down there together. They just bailed on me and left me with 15 crews while they made this, some deal with some other people. And they go hauling ass, taking those other people to where all the cake stuff was to load up, where they can just get fluff loads and haul ass. And whatever deal they worked out, they made bank, man. They were moving money. And they offered that shit to me. I said, no. It's just not right. We're working those areas. We got people working debris removal crews all over the place. Everybody needs to make sure their crews are cleaning the area for the people. That's not the reality of the way it works, though, is it? Big FEMA racket that goes on. It's ridiculous. And, but because I got stuck by myself running 15 crews in such a large area, I didn't have a way to communicate with all those crews. We didn't have radio communication, so I had a cell phone. At that time, the cell towers were back up, and at least for that area. So I used my cell phone. Prior to that, I was asked by someone with the county, by county management, if I had a cell phone because we did not have enough radios. I said yes. They said great. And it was where I was in communication just with other county employees, but then they bailed, so I had to communicate with my contractors. So I gave them my cell number. Call me when you load, so I can come inspect the load and get y'all rolling. So that's what I've done, in charge of this whole area. And then at the end of it, because you stand on moral ground, you don't accept the kickbacks, you want what's best for the people, you make your crews work the area, clean everything, not just the fluff load from the limbs, but the trunk of the tree that's all cut up, the house debris, the boards, and just all that stuff, all the stuff that you build houses with. Instead, I got stuck with a $777 phone bill, and that I had to pay. The county refused to pay it. Even with FEMA, they refused to pay it and said they don't pay phone bills. So after being asked by some county management if I had one and could use it, then I used it. Then I get stuck with the bill. And I fought it through the little county system that they have. They ended up, after I don't even know how long of dealing with the shit, they gave me $250 because after I pulled the cell phone records, $250 worth of conversation was all I could prove was to other county employees. They wouldn't cover any of the conversations that I was having to have with my contractors so that I could get them rolling to get those areas cleaned up. So, I mean, what sense does that make? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You stand on moral ground, you do the right thing. You're the one that gets fucked over. It doesn't make sense. But you don't want to be an asshole. You don't want to rat out other people for the bullshit they're doing, I mean, it's just, you weren't involved in it, so why should you have to get involved in it just to get other people to do the right thing? I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe it should work that way. I think the other people, the county management, should just do the right thing. I think those other people that haul ass with those debris removal crews, I think they should have done the right thing and not done that. But that's on them. Nothing to do with me. My part was handling the business for the people in my community, and then getting screwed over with an almost $800 phone bill for doing what I needed to do to handle that area. Yeah, that was back in 04 from Hurricane Ivan, 2004. I mean, jeez. And then they get all pissy because I lose respect for them. It's absolutely ridiculous. They put me, people that were in situations like I wasn't the only one. Other people lost all their stuff too. We go to areas where people are, still in need, needing help. We needed help. We didn't get it, but we get reoriented back in the work structure, haul ass out there to help other people while all of our stuff just sits. Vehicles flooded out, houses, destroyed, all walls buckling, flooring buckling, We can't clean up our stuff because we got to take care of the community. We don't get no time off. We were told that we would get time off to go handle our stuff, but we needed to take care of the community first, buckle down, that's what we've done, but then we don't get time off. It ends up, they push us out there in the field with the other community, with the rest of the community for so long that it's like, oh, well, surely y'all should have handled y'all's stuff by now. Yeah, when you're working 7 days a week, daylight to dark, disaster response, no, you do not have time to handle your own stuff. It's ridiculous. But those are just little examples of bullshit local government stuff. You can get into all the other dramas, the people sleeping their way to the top, all the little drama games going on, the little manipulation games going on. And then 2020 rolls around. Had a field day with that one. Found myself once again standing up against the BS bureaucracy in the county. Yeah, they're going to tell me that, there's nothing to worry about. It's just another flu, no biggie. But then have me implement protocols onto my community that says otherwise. And that forces things onto the community that says otherwise. That no, it's not. No, it is not just that. But it's all the do what I say, not as I do mentality that the government has, because the government is supposed to be there for the people. For the people. For the people, by the people. That's the way it's supposed to be, but that is not the reality. The reality is these county people, city people, all the local government people, federal government people, so many get into these positions and they suddenly get this blanket of what would you call it? It's like a false sense of security or something, like a false security blanket. They wrap it around themselves and they go, oh, I'm a government employee now. I've got job security and benefits. I've made it. I'm doing good. I'm doing better than others. It's strange because then they start treating other people as if other people are lesser than them. It's really sad because that mentality that they possess where they suddenly feel like they're so much better than everybody else, that is such a disgusting, weak, low vibrational mentality that it is literally the opposite of what they think, of what they're making themselves believe. It's ridiculous. It is a false sense of pride. They pick themselves up on this ego. Ego. There's one county employee I can think of right now that has an ego like no other. And these people are completely stupid. They're not grounded. They're highly intellectually intelligent, but they're morons. They have no common sense whatsoever, and they don't give a shit about anybody else. But they're in local government where decisions affect the community. I have a problem with that shit. And I found myself being the only one false enough to stand up in front of those assholes and do something about it. I got the short end of the stick. I'm the one that ended up, losing the career, losing friends, lost, my whole 911 team because, they didn't have balls. They didn't have the spine to stand up to the bureaucracy. I threw the bullshit flag on that. Right in front of their face, directly to the management, directly in front of the whole 911 team that I work with. You don't self-dispatch. You don't go put hands on with no PPE on a patient that you are deeming highly contagious with a pandemic level contagion, and then come back inside of a closed room and brag about it to your people because you done said, oh, it's just a flu. Man, screw you, dumbass rednecks. Try being a country boy instead of an idiot. Man, get me on that soapbox. That's just some dumb shit. They're so weak, they're so wrapped up in all their church and everything, they can't even express properly. You can't help but feel sorry for the huge lack that must be in their sex life. It's horrible. But that's, neither there. That's getting kind of personal anyway. I don't know anything about any other BS like that. You can't help but just imagine. You see, what freaking asshole geeks they are. You just can't help but think, wow, I guess the rest of them probably really sucks for them too. Apologies for that. I have to see real quick. But it gets ridiculous. The level of corruption and do as I say, not as I do, being better, feeling like they're better than everybody else, that it's okay if they break the rules, but they should hammer down on the rest of the people and not let them get away with anything. Nickel and dime them, but not them, not the people in the office. They don't get nickel and dimed like that. They've got their credibility to stand on and their image that other people support. Is their cush. It's ridiculous. What type of intelligence shows up on an emergency scene and then just starts spouting a bunch of assumptions, but use your county logo and the county ID, director status ID, that they've made to establish some type of credibility to make responders think that you do know what you're talking about when they don't know what they're talking about. Not involved, not a clue. But yet, that person still, they come out on top because they've got the position. They've got that good old boy image, and they've kissed all the right ass to get in the spots that they're in. But they're so weak. They have such a weak mind. They can't stand up for nothing. They gotta have a group. They gotta have a group of people behind them. They gotta have something. They can't do anything alone. They can't stand alone. They ain't got balls for that. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to rant and ramble a little bit while I was thinking about all that shit, because it goes on every level and people need to be aware of it. People need to bitch more. Y'all need to bitch to your politicians that think they're better than everybody. You need to get loud and proud. Just saying, something I need to do. I need to step my ass back up in there with all those yahoos and tell them exactly what I think. But double-edged sword, always keep that in mind. It is a double-edged sword because they will always try to make the example out of whoever's not in their circle. They always go that route, and they stick together to cover one another's ass. And the people that's just trying to stand for the right thing, they end up getting hurt because they're usually the ones that are alone or real close to it. So it's horrible. So wish everybody luck, but all the butterflies and rainbows, everybody just love each other, love and light. That doesn't mean ignore the fucking reality that you live in. So the rest of you spiritual freaking Fruit Loops that just everything's great, quit being ignorant. Start looking at the actual world you live in and then adjust accordingly. Now, if you have done that, I'm obviously not speaking to you. So please, all you bleeding hearts, don't get all upset. There's a lot that are not doing that. There's a lot of people that just read books and then spout words like they know what it means, and that's not the reality. You want to find out what a spiritual life is? Then engage your vessel, do your breath work, get into it, get into your own psyche. Find out for yourself why you are the way you are, and why you are where you are, and why you are doing what you're doing, why you make the decisions you make, why you think the things you think. Start getting to the bottom of all that, then you can say that, wow, I'm living a spiritual life. But if all you do is just run around justifying your own actions while you treat other people like shit, and you just ignore your actions, but you notice the faults in everyone else's, well, you got a lot to learn. Because when the time comes, and it will, people will be snapped back into their own reality and these depths of it, and then you find out the hard way, man. That is no fun. But anyway, y'all, peace, one love, one light. Get your head out of your ass and be the change you want to see, as I've heard on some other things. I like that. Be the change you want to see. Don't bitch about change unless you're willing to be the change you want to see. Then you can lead by example. Just saying, it ain't easy, but you can do it. You just got to humble yourself and get out of that pride, get out of that ego, quit living the image, and then just be happy with simplicity, and learn. Just keep learning. That's it. Anyway, I'm out of here. Y'all take care. Peace. One love, one light. Later.